So, welcome back to episode 2 of another podcast that nobody asked for.
I'm glad you're saying the name because I can't remember what the name is. I feel like I'll just get the words
I think
mixed
that
up.
would probably change the name a lot of times. But this is another podcast that nobody asked for. Another one, right? Because there's a million.
Not just the one.
On the internet. Because there's a million. Obviously, I started the other podcast the other week with Georgia that we started.
Yes.
And that was the podcast that nobody asked for. And then this is how we got the name for this. So then I was going to do this podcast with you, and I was like, I'll just call it another podcast that nobody asked for.
Which I think has quite a nice ring to it, to be fair.
And then I said it to my mate, and then I thought, actually, I should have called the first one that, because that's a really good name. This is now the name of this podcast. It's an even better one. Because, there is a million podcasts on the internet.
Yes.
We are just another one of those.
Yeah.
People might listen to us. They might not. But it's just another one that nobody asked for that we're doing anyway.
There's your intro.
Yeah, there's your intro. So part 2. So first one, obviously we discussed everything and nothing. I'll have to watch that back to even know what we discussed, because we're still in the same place, in the same studio, recording this. I should have brought a different jumper, I knew, and then people won't know we're in a different place. We'll do that next time.
It'll clash with the pink light, and
we'll record 5 and just I'll do a boot full of car clothes with us to get changed.
We're not doing 5, I might die.
My tonsils can't take 5 of this talking shit.
My jaw hurts a bit, actually.
Is it?
I think it's because I'm laughing so much. You get that in prep when your face like cramps up and you're like...
Yeah, why? I don't even know why it's so bad in prep. My
so
jaw
bad.
used to blow up. So I'd be like chewing my food.
That's what I'm like. And I'm like...
And it'd be more so when I was like carving up or whatever, because it's obviously like more food. But like in prep, my jaw used to go like... I can't remember what that cartoon character is. You know, he's got like a really big jaw. Oh, it's a Diggly Diggly. You know that guy?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know Family Guy?
I hate Family Guy.
Oh, do you really?
Do you watch Family Guy?
I don't watch it anymore, but I've seen it all because I used to watch it when it was on.
It absolutely
the guy who lives, it was like a pervert or whatever, who lives up the street with a big jaw. You know what I mean? I can't think of his name. It's like Diggly Diggly. Well, that was me when I was chewing chicken on prep. Fucking big jaw, jiggly jiggly.
It does make your face set though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think mine was probably too much clen. Probably had no taurine left. No taurine left in my jaw. Yeah, and just generally tense because I was on steroids and I was angry at everybody.
God. Anyway, welcome back.
So welcome back to more tangents. We was on tangent podcast number 1, talking about whatever.
We did a bit of an intro.
Introduce ourselves.
Show stuff.
I went well on about everything for a little bit. Obviously, we spoke a little bit about you, bless you. I think you got some things in there before I just started talking. So I'm sorry about that, Leah.
Sorry, I'll just leave you to yourself.
We'll make this one more about you, I feel. Yeah.
We're gonna do some questions because we put a question box up. Got a few.
Got some good questions. Bodybuilding related mainly, questions.
Yeah, mainly bodybuilding. So we'll do this one more bodybuilding, and then we'll maybe do some that are like, we said this on the last one, but we'll do some that are like business, some that are life.
Suggestions.
Yeah, if there's anything you want us to chat about,
we'll chat.
We'll chat about it.
Whatever it might be. Problems. Yeah. We can solve your problems. We can do anything that you want. Relationship problems. Look, listen.
Maybe we should do an advice one that's like, send us your life problems.
If you want your life ruining even further, let's just ask us what.
No, you know what? I actually love those podcasts. Have you ever listened? No, you won't have listened to this.
No, I don't know.
There's this podcast called The Girls' Bathroom. Right. And honestly, I was listening to it on the way here actually. It's so funny. I just like, it's so chilled, and it's basically where there's these 2 girls and people send them in like, basically anything to do with life, but it's like things like one of them was what was the one I was listening to today? Her like best friend started dating her like ex-boyfriend, and it was like their whole dilemma, and now they're like moving in together, and then this friend was still seeing this friend behind the other friend's back, and it's all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
that was the time.
We can do that.
But anyway, send us your life problems. Maybe not to that extent.
I will make it worse for you, a lot worse.
So sorry. So this one is basically bodybuilding.
Cool.
But we're not just going to talk about bodybuilding all the time.
Because we're more ultra multi-dimensional than that, aren't we?
Yeah, I feel like...
I mean, like, we both wear glasses from time to time, so we're obviously intelligent. You've got your glasses on now.
I can't see without my glasses, that's why. Otherwise I'd be squinting at you from across the table.
So that means, obviously, we're super intelligent, so we know things about things.
We do.
And we're more multi-dimensional than just bodybuilding.
I feel like... I feel like you're the same. I'm not a bodybuilder that's just like bodybuilding is life.
No.
And I know obviously, yes, you have to be in prep. Yeah, you have to be like a full-time bodybuilder or whatever. But
yeah, you are a full-time bodybuilder. But I always used to say this as well, like when I was bodybuilding, like, and somebody said it to me years ago, one of my pals, Mark, actually, and it stuck with me. And he was like, all you have to do is eat your food and go to gym.
Yeah, as long as you're doing that, you can still live your life.
That's all. You don't have to think about it 24/7.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch bodybuilding-based podcasts 24/7 or things on the internet and this and that. You don't have to be consistently immersed in bodybuilding to be a good bodybuilder. You've got a bunch of boxes you need to tick. It's usually 5 or 6 meals, which ain't that difficult. You've got to go gym, train like fuck. Make sure you get 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. How invested you are outside of that? Obviously, it's great to be interested in it and thinking about it and like how you can be better and all the rest of it. But realistically, that is all you have to do.
Yeah.
To be a good bodybuilder. And that's all I focused on when I was bodybuilding, just making sure I ticked all the boxes. Still had a good kind of, I wouldn't say I had a social life where I was out on the piss or anything, because obviously you can't be doing that. Yeah. But I still went to see my mates all the time. I was always at things and this and that. And prep's different because
obviously you have to be like, you can't miss a beat when you're on prep. But
and you're so like restricted on energy that it takes all your energy just to do them things anyway.
Yeah.
And then you're more on the clock with you when you're eating your meals, when you go to the gym, when you're doing your cardio. You can't go to bed late because it ruins the next couple of days, etc., etc. So prep's different, but I think year round being a bodybuilder, like, and all right, we're on a tangent now, aren't we? So
we are on a tangent.
Here we
we'll
go.
Roll with it.
But yeah, so like,
I feel like it's a good tangent.
Yeah, I just feel like, and this is how. So this is how I have my off seasons with my clients.
I really like the way that you do the off season, because I feel like if you were super strict in off season, I wouldn't want to do it.
You'd tap out.
Yeah.
You would be done.
You need time to like chill.
You'd be done bodybuilding within 2 years.
Yeah.
I pretty much promise you that. And everybody who follows that kind of path where there's no off-plan meals, there's no this, you have to blah, 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 blah. Great, be that intense, that's fantastic. You'll make some great progress for a year. And then you're probably going to quit because it's too much. And you see this all the time. You see it, and I watch people come and go for that reason, where I feel like I look after people the same way I was looked after, and the same way I live my own off seasons. As you know, you get your meal plan, which, all right, I'm not an if it fits your macros fan for bodybuilding. I'm not. With some clients, I will let that a little bit. With people who I know will make good choices and are well into it, but the if it fits your macros thing is not that smart if people make bad choices. So we'll have the diet like that, and it's kind of like, I suppose, the 80-20 rule, innit? What are you laughing at? Is that moving my hand a lot?
No, I was just thinking that if it fits your macros, like imagining people trying to build their off season with like 4,000 calories on me.
Well, people do, and these are the conversations I have with people on consults, and they're like, and I'm stood looking in the fridge at 10 o'clock at night, and I've got 24 grams of fat and 18 grams of carbs to eat, and I don't know what else to eat.
Yeah.
So I'll take all that out of it anyways. But like, so you've got your meal plan base, which is a bodybuilder for me. That you need that for like off season or on season. You need the consistent nutrition of quality to build, recover, health, everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you are forcing your body with a lot of calories in the off season. I think if you're making some bad choices, that's bad for your health anyway.
It just makes life easier as well.
Yeah, so digestion.
I feel like we could do a whole podcast on this.
Digestion, recovery, and just general well-being in self. So, but on top of that, and as you know, I'll add freedom calories. So say your calories are sat at, example, 2,500 in the off season, just an example. You might have 2,100 or even 2,200 from your meal plan.
Yeah.
And then you'll have 300 or 400 from freedom calories.
Yeah.
And they can come from wherever they want. And this is my way of keeping people sane, right?
Yeah, which is such a good idea, I think.
I'm not just being nice to people. I think this, if you go to your nan's house and she offers you a biscuit and you're in the off season, what are you going to say?
Give me the biscuits.
I'm going to say no. I never says no to a biscuit off your nan. Sorry, man, I'm a bodybuilder and I can't have a biscuit.
Yeah, or like when you go out for coffee, like when you're in off season, you don't want to sit there. I don't want to sit there and have an Americano. Like, I want a nice, like, oat milk latte or
whatever it is that you all drink in them fancy coffee shops. I don't know. But I always use that as an example, though. Do you know what I mean? I'll say you can have it from Space Raiders and Twixes, or you can have it from apples and oranges. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So if you feel a bit fresher one day and you want to have some fruit, you can have some fruit. Yeah. If you want to have a biscuit, you can have whatever the hell you want. I don't care. As long as you eat them calories on top of your plan and don't skip them or go over, that's included in your base, right? It's not going to do you any harm. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's just part of being a normal human. Every weekend you get an off-plan meal, which is all the way up to usually about 2,000 calories, which is easily a good Domino's or whatever. Yeah. So you've got that to look forward to with your partner or your friends or whatever on a weekend. I don't particularly encourage alcohol drinking, obviously, because there's no real upside to that. But I do understand as well that people will go out every now and again in the off season, if it's once a month, once every 6 weeks, whatever.
Yeah. Most bodybuilders aren't going to be out every weekend.
Exactly. Really. It's not really something that I need to really worry about because it's not very often that people are out on the piss. Every now and again, I'll get someone that'll be like, "Is it all right if a bottle of wine on a Saturday night?" And I'm like, "What? Every Saturday night?" And they're like, "Yeah, not really." You know what I mean? Not really. We won't really encourage that. So sometimes that, but yeah. So that's not boring bodybuilding for the off season. And then what happens when you come to prep? And you'll know
you're ready to go for it.
You're ready. Yeah. You know what I mean? Get that shit out. Them freedom calories gone. Get that off-plan meal done. Take a few calories away. Get a bit of cardio maybe stuck in, or whatever we might do, whatever entrance to the prep we've got, depending on the person. You're going.
Yeah.
So say if you just cut out the cheat meal and the off-plan calories, the freedom calories, start doing a little bit of cardio, you're fresh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've still got pretty much like a good base diet from what you've been eating anyways. There's not much change apart from you've cut out a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just like loaded up to the gills on cream of rice or whatever, and then you're just having less cream of rice or whatever it might be, that you start cutting down, you're going to lose your mind.
It's like mentally as well. Like, it's just nice being able to wake up and be like, oh, what do I fancy today? I'll just go to the shop and see what I want to have.
I'm not doing that for people physically. I'm doing that for people's mentality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no upside to eating bags of Space Raiders in your off season.
Yeah.
It's all a mental thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason that's doing it. And I do believe that's why I've got quite a long competing longevity with quite a lot of my clients, because they're all right for it. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, that's sound, and they live, and people are happy. Anyone who's a good bodybuilder will be happy living like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, why wouldn't you be? All bodybuilders are quite methodical, and they like the same routine and structure, which is what I actually meant. Like the routine and the structure and everything like that. So they'll live like that anyway. So just putting like a defining amount on it for what they can do is really good for them. Do you know what I mean? And they all seem really happy. And you
converted me into a meal plan. I remember when you first told me I was going to be on a meal plan, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to do this. And here I am 3 years later, still following a meal plan.
Preaching the good life, and you enjoy it as well.
No, it is. And I said to you before, like, since I remember when I came to you and I had all those stomach problems.
Yeah.
And I used to struggle really bad with like my stomach used to get so like painful and like bloated. And ever since I started being on a meal plan, I rarely ever have problems now.
I don't even remember the last time.
No, not been for years.
No, it's been sound.
Because I used to like have a massive meal and then not eat for like 8 hours and then have like a little meal and then the next day I'd eat like 4 meals and it'd be all random and...
Yeah. Which sometimes I like to say to clients, like every now and again, if you get an occasion and you have to do that...
Yeah.
There you go, bang, that's what your macros is, or that's what your calories and protein is. Just do that for that day, it'll be all right. But every day, bopping up and down, like, you can't, can you really, if you want everything to run efficiently.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of run everything like that.
Can't remember what we're talking about.
Fuck knows. About being boring bodybuilders, I think. Now I've just bored everyone to death for half an hour talking about freedom calories.
We said we weren't going to talk about bodybuilding and we've just spoke about meal plans for half an hour. Anyway,
fuck.
That's our intro. Sorry.
Only kidding, my
fault.
fault.
But basically, you don't need to be super obsessive.
Yeah, so it's probably a subject worth touching on, to be fair, because you do see it, don't you? And it's just 24/7 with people.
Yeah, or they're like doing a post about like the tiniest little thing. I'm like, is that really going to make that much difference?
Yeah, probably not. Some of the things that they talk about, especially not over the long haul. And like I say, it might do slightly to be like that better. But if you've tapped out in the first 18 months of bodybuilding because it was fucking boring and your brain's just burned out with it, you're gone anyway, aren't you? So who's made the most progress? The person who could stay the course, innit?
I remember when I had my 3 calories, you know, when we were in lockdown, and I did that first, like, building after, I think it was when we were in lockdown, and I was living at mum and dad's.
Smashing it in your garage, weren't you?
Yeah, I was training in the garage. God,
I was impressed. I remember being impressed.
Do you?
Yeah. Right, good setup going on.
I did. I bought a Smith machine and everything.
I know. She didn't bat an eyelid about the lockdown, nothing. Just like, I've done this, I've bought that, I've done this. Then you was putting it up, or was you putting up your dad or whatever?
Yeah, I think Dad, and because Will came back with me as well, and they were like building it, and Will made like a little pulley thing. So we had a pretty good setup actually.
I was impressed. You were just deadlifting like fuck in your garage.
Yeah, I bought some plates from the old gym. Managed to source like, I think I had like 140 kilo or something.
Yeah.
I think I actually got pretty strong in that lockdown.
You did, yeah. You was fucking pulling straight off the deck.
Yeah, and I was eating. Mum was basically baking banana bread like loads, and I was just smashing banana bread every day from my 3 calories.
That's the secret. If you want to make the progress Leah did, banana bread, lock yourself in your garage for 6 months, just keep pulling shit off the floor till you get massive.
Oh, you know what? I did actually make quite a lot of progress that year though, so that was
good. Yeah.
Question number 1. Sorry. No, it's not a funny question. I just got carried away. What would you recommend for someone who wants to get into bodybuilding?
You start.
Okay.
Because it'll just be me chatting shit.
Okay. So I feel like there's loads of angles you could come at this from, but the first thing is...
I feel like you're the best person to answer this because you deal with these people more than I do. When I get people, it's usually they're already...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I've got actually a lot of girls at the minute who are like already training pretty well, already very consistent, and they're basically now like thinking about going into either shoot preps or competing.
Yeah, and you've took them there probably from a lot of just lifestyle-based situation to start with. So
yeah, a lot of people that weren't even like tracking consistently or training consistently or anything.
So I'd say you're definitely more qualified than me for this one.
You have a lot of first timers though still, but I guess they're already quite into bodybuilding.
Yeah. You'll fire away then, I'll see what.
So I think with this, the first step would be get a coach who is like a more of a serious coach as such. Not serious, you know what I mean? I was thinking not a serious
coach. Coach with no jokes.
Not a hilarious coach. Oh, God. I'm losing my head because I've been talking for so long.
Yeah, so a coach who's into the bodybuilding.
Yeah, get a coach who is like, I wouldn't say they necessarily have to compete, but just someone who isn't an obvious lifestyle coach.
Yeah,
because
and
then,
with some experience in the area.
Yeah, because then you can sort of dip your toes in the water, and if they can get you basically living like a bodybuilder, like training consistently, following a structured plan, you know, going through like a properly structured like off-season or building phase, whatever you want to call it, maybe trying out like a bit of a shoot prep, you're basically doing bodybuilding without the competing.
Yeah.
So if you can get involved with that and sort of see if you like it and how you get on and run basically a couple of phases as if you were going to compete, you can then kind of test the water and think, right, is this for me or is it not for me?
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you're with a coach who's going to hold you to that standard, who's not just going to be like, don't worry about that session you missed or that week you didn't track of your food.
No,
you know?
bitch. This is what you need to do. Yeah, you're right. And run some like. So how do you do it with these people that front? Do you run some like as if they are bodybuilders off season, then like what, like prolonged mini cuts? So not that mini, just an actual proper cut. See if they can cope with dieting and if they've got the mentality to be dieting down. It's not for everybody, is it? Not everybody can do that. Do you know what I mean? I know it's dressed up like that on social media now, where everyone can just get lean and this and that, but it's not for everybody. Do you know what I mean? No,
because basically I do pretty much I have a few girls who just like kind of sit at maintenance, or a few girls that are running or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But even a lot of the lifestyle clients, they'll go through phases of like building and then maintenance and then kind of mini cutting, but it's just obviously more flexible if they're doing it lifestyle.
Yeah.
They might like, some of them don't track all their food every day, for example, or some of them don't track the food at all, so they do like more like intuitive eating. And
there's like less consequence to that, obviously, because you're on less of a TAM, and they know that, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they know that for them, I'm not going to turn around and be like, you need to do X, Y, Z this meticulously.
Yeah.
So
it's a slower progression to the goal, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's just dependent on like the type of lifestyle they want to live as such.
Yeah, true, yeah. That's where I'm super not experienced in lifestyle. So I could probably do to get myself a lifestyle coach. You want to be my lifestyle coach?
Yeah.
To get me back to a normal person. Because I was a bodybuilder since I was 18.
Yeah.
As an adult, I know nothing else.
Yeah.
So to coach lifestyle, I'd be like, well, I don't know what normal people do.
To be honest, I do. I've got quite a lot of girls who are who've come from like kind of disordered eating backgrounds. And I actually really enjoy that because I feel like, working with their like relationship with food and mindful eating and that sort of side.
Yeah.
That's really nice, actually.
Yeah. Some of that goes over my head with some of that stuff. But yeah, like I said, I started bodybuilding at 18. So I ate like a bodybuilder since I was 18. I'm now 37.
Yeah.
I've been retired a couple of years, and then I kind of felt really lost last year, not really knowing. You go in the supermarket and you're like, what do people eat?
How do I do a normal food shop?
Do you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Then there's no pressure to actually eat what I was eating. So I've gone back to eating like a bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier. And I just eat the same things every day.
Yeah.
It's just easier. But yeah, so obviously you're super well clued in on that, which I do find actually quite interesting, to be fair.
Yeah.
To be able to, because that's a skill, what you've got there, to be able to get people to look good, feel good and happy in a normal life. Like, it's too black and white to me.
Yeah.
You're fat. Well, eat that, and then you look like that, and then that's as far as I see it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you've got to tow them from there to there, and they don't want to do that. What I would tell them to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that because they don't want to be bodybuilders. So you've got to get them to there in a different way, and that's a proper skill. Like,
yeah,
I would argue that's as much or as more of a skill as prepping people?
I think it's harder, is that the right word? I think it's harder coaching lifestyle clients than prep clients, because you get a prep client or you get a bodybuilder, you're like, here's your meal plan, here's your training, off you go, and they do it.
Yeah.
Whereas you get a lifestyle client and they're eating out 3-4 times a week, they're going around to their friends one night for tea, their mum's one day for lunch. You know, you have to get them like planning the food, but they want different meals every day. You know, there's a lot more of that.
Yeah, I've seen the stuff on your website, and it's just I found it fascinating, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's
I quite
a
like it.
skill, man. It's a skill. Because I can't do that. I would just say, if you don't want to be fat, eat that, do that, and then you won't be fat.
And then they're like, people go, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing that. And I'm like, well, then you still want to be fat then. There's no in between. You either want to be fat or you don't want to be fat. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I say it's a skill. And yeah, I'd found that quite interesting to go through that process, actually, maybe in the future.
Yeah.
With somebody. And see what that's kind of like. But
yeah, and I think all the relationship with food and stuff, I feel like because I struggled with that in the past quite a lot, I feel like I relate to that quite a bit as well, so I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I think dealing with eating disorders and stuff, I think like you have to have had some skin in the game
you can't relate
at some point to relate to it, because Amy's got quite a lot of experience with that, and I actually speak to her quite a lot about it sometimes. If I'll get a client that's got eating disorder, I'll say, can you just have a...
Yeah.
I don't tell them what the client is or anything, but I'll just say, can you just give me your opinion on this, please? You know what I mean? Because she's quite clever with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll lean on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I know I can lean on you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the question? Oh yeah.
Basically, us after every question. What was the question?
What was the question?
I can't remember.
Writing them down.
We've just been talking for an hour about something not relevant.
Yeah, it was people getting into bodybuilding, wasn't it?
Yeah, so get a coach, basically.
Get a coach who holds you to a proper account.
Yeah.
And like no bullshit. Like, why aren't you doing that? You need to be doing that.
Go through a bodybuilding experience without getting on stage. And I say this to a lot of the girls now. I'm like, right, let's just do a building phase for a good 6 months plus. Let's do a mini cut or a shoot prep, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And let's just see how you feel. And then we'll go from there and we'll make a plan. So now I've got a few clients who have come to me and they're like, I want to compete. And then we've already done building phases, we've already done shoots. So I know that they're okay. And I'm like, actually, you know what?
They're in a perfect
You'll
spot.
be fine, because I know you can diet and I know you can push your food up and I know that you train well. So then we can map out a bit more of a time frame.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's probably the main thing.
That would be getting the good coach and going through them experiences first to get into bodybuilding. Always recommended. And I do agree with that as well. So I get a lot of clients coming off the back end of what you've just done with them.
Yeah.
But that, obviously you're going into prep coaching now, so you can take them to that. But I would get them off other coaches that would be like I've been through this and this and this, blah, 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 blah. This is what I've done. And I love these clients as well. I fucking love them. They turn up, book a call or whatever, speak to them, and they're just like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. My coach has said they can't take me any further than this.
Yeah.
Or I don't feel like my coach can take me any further than this because they've no experience or no skin in the game. They've actually I get recommended from a lot of coaches.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been recommended to you from my coach who says this and that. So this is why I'm here. And then they just lay everything out. Well, like how you, not how you come to me from, Danny, but because you were already bodybuilding before that, but they're very similar.
Yeah, it's kind of similar though.
To what you said to me, I was like, this is great. Do you know what I mean? Then I know exactly what I've got, exactly what I'm working with. And then we just go straight into what we need to do. And I get quite a lot of that. Coming from there.
Got someone with a good foundation because they kind of know what they're doing. They've got a bit of muscle on them already.
Yeah, and then they're not deluded to what's going on. They know they need to eat. They don't need to not eat at certain points and like all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, going through them phases is and there's coaches like I say like you said. I mean, I have got them coaches working for me now because Amy will do that and I don't really do that. Do you know what I mean? Megan will do that and Amy will do that for us now. But you've got that obviously all in house with your business with yourself. So there's that. I was about to go into your coaches then, but we'll wait for that. We can talk about your coaches in a bit. Posing.
Yes, 100%.
And get a fucking posing coach.
As soon as you can.
And a good one.
Yeah.
A good one, which of there is not that many.
Yeah.
Because I feel like posing coaching, and I'm not trying to slag anyone down now, but I feel like posing coaching is the new. Do you know like when they used to say you've done one show and then you're a prep coach? Yeah. Now it's you do one show and you're a posing coach. I feel like that's the new version of that. I think. And these are only a handful of good ones, but see who everyone's going to. Speak to some people who know. I always advise on who to go to for the posing, and I choose the names that I choose on purpose. I don't just randomly pick them out of a hat. Choose a good posing coach because that is super, super important to the outcome of what you get from. You're building a physique and you're presenting a physique.
Yeah. That
is a part of what you are presenting. You're not just presenting a lean body and getting on stage. It's all a part of the package, the posing, the tan at the end of it, the makeup. Obviously, they're the end up finishing touches, but the getting your body to where you get to and get you posing on point is a massive part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because otherwise, it's the difference between first place and fifth place in some occasions.
Yeah.
The amount of times, it doesn't happen as much now as it did, but I used to see girls on stage and then I'd have my client on stage and I'd be thinking, fuck, like that's close, do you know what I mean? And then they start posing and I'm like, seen a bit.
Yeah, the thing is they won't play someone if they can't pose.
Not if you can't present it.
No.
Because you can see that somebody's got a good physique.
Yeah.
And this is what I used to do. Is like look at them and think, shit, they're good. And then I'd have another girl stood over there. And then as soon as they get posed, I'm like, yeah, sound.
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
And
it's so much harder than what people think as well.
Yeah.
Like, it looks so effortless when you watch people.
Yeah.
I can remember when we started working together and you were like, you need to send me your posing every day. And I was like...
Okay. Oh, was you one of them?
And then, I was. And then I watched my video. I found a video from when I first started with you. And I was, remember when I was like posing in my kitchen at my parents' when I'd first started with you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is horrendous. Like, how did you not like sit and laugh at me? It was so bad.
If you've ended up on the list of people that I make them send me it every single day, that means it needed a lot of work.
It was every day.
Yeah, but you're a, and I don't think you're so much like this now, but you get clients, and you'll get this when you get the more competitors coming through. You get some clients that just fucking love to train and they love to eat and they're just about the fucking graft.
Yeah.
And they really neglect the posing because that's all they're about.
Yeah.
And you get some that just love the posing and they're fucking all over it from day one. But some of them they just want to train.
Yeah.
They just want to train and they just want to eat, and that's all. And like you was like one of them. So then I think it probably took quite a lot to be like pose.
Yeah, because I literally never posed.
And then when you get better at it, it becomes better. I've had loads of champions that have been like that. Loads.
Yeah.
I would say more champions that have been like that than not like that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they've got the physiques that they've got, because they just love training.
Yeah, because they've kind of come from a very training background as such.
Yeah, because a lot of them come from and you're from swimming,
yeah.
Or they'll come from gymnastics, or they'll come from this and this and that. The gymnastics ones aren't as much because obviously they're into the presentation. But if you've had women that have come through from football or swimming or running or like any of these like competitive things, they just care about training and eating.
Just put my coat on, I'm really cold.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's all they care about. We'll cut the bit out. No, we'll leave the bit in where Leah's putting a cotton, because otherwise they'll be confused. You're just putting it on your knee, are you?
I'm just putting it on my knee.
Grandma Leah.
I'm not putting it I thought it might look a bit weird if I've just got a massive coat on me. Little blanket.
You can put it on if you want.
That's all right.
Coat on.
I'm okay now.
So posing, been another one. And like you said, I don't know if you've done this to any of your clients. I know you've just had a couple, but like if you're my client and you end up on the list where you're sending me your posing every day, it means there's work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's work to do.
And some people are just naturally like really good at posing.
Yeah, some people are
and some people just naturally aren't.
Yeah, we had quite a lot of work we do to do with you, because you was quite uneven, weren't you, from like a swimming. So I sent you to physios and
when I sent you that first photo, you sent me a photo but with like lines all over it, and I was like, what?
I was like, why is all this wonky? What's going on?
I was so wonky. I found it the other day and I was like, God, I was really like off
because
centre.
it's not actually noticeable now.
No.
It can't be noticeable because it hasn't jumped out at me.
No.
So it's got better and better as a couple of years has gone on, to be fair. But yeah, it was like an old... And
it was really weird.
Luckily, we've got David. Shout out for David. Perfect 10. That's where I send all the people that are truly broken. They all end up travelling over to Hull and going to see him because he's fucking clever.
Yeah, to be fair, it did sort me out. I was thinking actually this time, I need to go and see him, but it's so far. Yeah. Like for me to get to Hull, it's like a good nearly 3 hours.
Yeah. He
is very good.
Anybody who I've had who's totally broken, and I end up getting him seeing him, and he always sorts them out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got all that fixed on you.
Yeah.
And you've been all right. So posing.
Yeah.
A solid coach.
That's about it, really, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, your coach should be able to take you through everything.
That's the main bit, isn't it? Because you need to just go in and try out the process and see how you find it. But you're not going to do that unless you're with a coach who can take you through that process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you just need to really get a coach.
Getting the right coach at the right time.
Through it.
And then, like I say, just like I said to you before about that post I'd put on earlier in the week, like just sieve through, try your best. And then if you're new to this and you're listening to it, just try your best to sieve through the bullshit, because there's so much shit.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit on the internet, and just try and look at the outcomes as opposed to the processes, I would think.
And also speak to the clients, like go and look who they've posted and then go and message the client.
Yeah. And see what's going on there. Or if you see someone leave, see why they've left. Because if there's a valid reason for them leaving, and if that's because sometimes that's just the client, but if you've got a bunch of clients leaving one coach for the same reason, then that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? If there's multiple people leaving for the same reason. But I was going to say, yeah, just follow. So what I was saying there is like follow the outcomes instead of the processes, because the processes are good, but that's where everyone's selling the bullshit on Instagram for me. Like, we're doing this and we're doing that and it all sounds great and blah, blah, blah. What did they look like on stage? Did they look good on stage?
Yeah.
Did they fulfill the potential? Could they have looked any better? Are any of these people winning anything? Like, do you know what I mean? Because if they've got a lot of clients, they're putting a lot of clients on stage, they should be winning shows and winning a lot of shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have these coaches with 100 plus clients and they're all competing and there's nothing turning out.
Yeah.
You all get like thirds and fifths and sixths and the odd second. And like, do you know what I mean? Some of these people should be winning shows.
Yeah.
I feel like, I suppose this, I don't know if this is big-headed or not, but I just feel like when I was PTing from early on, when I only had a handful of clients,
They were still winning.
They were still winning.
Yeah.
I might only have had 10 people, not even that, 5 people competing across a
Yeah.
full year, and they were all winning. You'll remember some of the names that I was putting on stage when I was just PTing from the gym with 8 active competitors. Do you know what I mean? Not 100 active competitors or whatever some of these coaches have got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So like the people shine through no matter what. Do you know what I mean? We was winning since 2013. Every year I've won at least one British title.
Mad.
That's a good record, that I think.
That's a very good record.
And I think at the peak number is probably about 7 British titles in 1 year. I think there's only been a few years where there's only been 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were in the early days when there was only 1 class.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There wasn't even athletic figure in the early days. You won't know that, will you?
No, I didn't know that.
Athletic figure didn't even get invented until 2015.
Wow.
That was tone figure and train figure.
Oh.
That was it. And there was no PCA. So you did NABA or you did UKBFF. I did nothing with UKBFF.
I remember that page.
Tone figure and everything didn't exist in UKBFF, which is now Two Bros. Well, UKBFF is still UKBFF, but that was what Two Bros is now.
Right,
that was the
okay.
IFBB road.
Yes,
Two Bros
yeah.
didn't exist. So you had NABA and then you had UKBFF. If you wanted to do figure, you went to NABA. Basically, if you was from the north, you went to NABA.
Yeah.
And then bikini got invented maybe about 2011.
God, I'm learning so
something like
much
that.
today.
Yeah, that got invented around about maybe 2011, I think it was, about
Yeah.
2011, maybe 12. But before that, all they had was physique.
God.
Do you know what I mean? And figure or whatever. So nobody really did that.
Yeah.
Then everyone did NABA. So if you wanted to win a British final with NABA, you couldn't do more than one area qualifier. So you couldn't just go around winning loads of shows.
Right.
You could only do your area, which they've only just changed that this year.
Yeah.
Everybody piled into that. So if you wanted to get to the British in 2013 when I started, you needed a top 2 at the qualifier. That's it.
Wow.
Top 2. And there was 25 on stage. It was fucking chaos. It was absolute
God,
chaos.
I had no clue it was like
Stupid
this.
way of doing it, because some of the qualifiers were quieter than others.
Yeah.
So I was in the northeast and the northwest. There was 20 to 30 on stage in the figure class. Obviously, trained figure, we didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
So just toned. So to get through there, you needed a top 2. And then you went to the British, and there was like, I don't know, 14 areas or whatever it is.
So there's top 2 from each
Yeah,
one.
and then you'd have a couple of rogue qualifiers at the end of the year, which are like national.
Yeah.
So then you'd have a few pals to take 3 from there. So you'd end up with 30 odd on stage generally, because everybody did the finals. You didn't qualify and not do the finals.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were all based around the British. So then when I was winning that, you're beating like 30 odd girls. So that was like so what I'm saying is we didn't have opportunities to win more than one British because there wasn't more than one British. That's all there was. So we won one every year. 2013 I won it. 2014 we won it with a different federation that year, and then PCA got invented, and I've won one every year in there, with it bikini or figure or whatever. And that was just even when I had a few clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a well tangent from picking coaches to get to
Yeah, I
that.
know.
But yeah, we've gone back all the way across then. But what I'm saying is the good coaches will always shine through, and they'll shine through with winning, and that's what you need to look at. Do you know what I mean? So that'd be a good advice for somebody to start with, and just because I feel sorry for him, man. I look through Instagram and I think, what is all this?
Yeah.
What is all this?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just like puppies in a window trying to get picked.
Yeah.
In the coaching industry, do you know what I mean? That's basically what it is. So, complexity sells and all the rest of it. I think because a lot of them are young as well, aren't they? And I think confidence gets mistaken for competence.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, and because they're so confident and outgoing and we can do this and do that, that sometimes comes across as competence.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just misguided a lot of the time.
Yeah. And also go and have a chat to the coach and just chat to them on Instagram and be like,
Yeah,
do you get on with them? Can you get on a call with them and have like a laugh with them and
You got
stuff?
to have a click with them, haven't you?
Yeah, because I think that's the biggest bit. Like, can you? Like, I feel like I feel like you're probably the same with most of your clients. I could go and like have a coffee with any of my clients and like have a good chat with them, and it would be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
and we'd get on really well. And
Yeah,
I feel like
pretty
it's nice because then you can just have like, you're all right. You're not just having you know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah,
better, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would agree with that. And that's why I said when I said like just pick the one that you think is the least of a wanker.
Yeah. That's that basically.
Yeah.
And if you're really new to it, you could always go to a coach first who's like a bit of a, like kind of what you said, like a bit of a bridging coach that does lifestyle coaching still, but can just move you from sort of a more flexible approach to give you a structure, give you a routine. And then, you know, if you want to go into competing, you've already gone through that transition.
Yeah, possibly someone that maybe has done bodybuilding themselves, but are not necessarily a bodybuilding coach. That could be a good place to start because then they know the processes, they know what it goes through and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But they're not actively being a bodybuilding coach because they don't want involved in that side of things or whatever. There's plenty of them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've kind of got into a little bit now. It's like girls who are, I've still coached lifestyle girls, but then girls who want to like you said, like higher level lifestyle girls that want to, that maybe want to shoot. My head's gone now.
Want to shoot guns. They want to do a photo shoot. I'll fill in for a while.
They want to do a shoot. Sorry, I'm choking.
Kicking COVID over there. Yeah.
God. They want to do a photo shoot, or they want to prep, or they want to do like they're like a first timer. So it like bridges the gap a bit.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice, quite fun. I like it.
It's a good place to be, man.
That's question number 1.
Yeah.
What do you think is the hardest part of prep?
For me as the coach or you as the athlete?
Oh, let's do both. I'll do as the athlete.
That's actually a good one, yeah. Accidental. Do that then. What's the hardest part as an athlete?
I think as an athlete, the hardest part is, for me, hold on, I'm just trying to think actually. I do think it's probably the post-prep bit still.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I don't think prep is like, obviously, yeah, it's hard, but I don't think the prep is like ridiculously hard. No. Obviously, there's days where you like feel like you're going to die.
But yeah, I mean, you won't be able to get your fat off without feeling like that at some point.
Yeah. But I think it's because I get messages, right? I don't know if you ever got this, but oh my God, like how are you so disciplined? Like how do you stick to it? And I'm like, it's not even like, it doesn't even cross my mind.
No, and that's how you know when you cut out for it or you're not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be forcing yourself into doing that.
Yeah.
You can't put square pegs in round holes.
No.
So if you're not cut out for it, then. But there's a caveat to that as well, because I've got a lot of clients, and you'll have these where they definitely won't cut out for that to start with.
Yeah,
and then they've matured and developed, and some people really surprise me on prep as well, in both directions. I'll have some people come in and think, well, not so much now, but I suppose before when I used to be in the gym and with people and that, I would think, this fucker ain't going to be able to do this. Do you know what I mean? Just the way they are and the way they live and the way all the rest of it, I think. And then they just switch to prep and they're just like,
prep
boom.
mode.
And then you used to get some come in and they'd be like, I'll do this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
And then they start prepping 3 weeks later, they've bottled it, they fell out, they couldn't handle being hungry and all the rest of it. So people really do surprise you. But yeah, I think post-show, from what I deal with.
Yeah.
So this is from your perspective, not mine.
Mentally.
Yeah, mentally.
Because I personally, like, obviously, yes, the prep is hard from a hunger, tiredness, fatigue, whatever. You get all that, obviously, on prep. But I feel like you kind of know that's going to happen anyway. Yeah. So you're just like, yeah, whatever. It's just prep. Yeah. And you know you're getting on stage, so it's fine. Because you can just like block it out. And
this is why Leah's a pro. Because she don't care. And I would say that all my pros are like that, actually. I had this conversation on the podcast before that we're done. They've all got that similar trait, just ruthlessly don't care about nothing. Hungry, don't care. Tired, don't care. And the further you get into the prep, the more that kicks in.
Yeah.
The more you just walk through a wall if you needed to. It doesn't really matter. It's a mentality thing, innit? So, but then after the show, that bandage is off, innit? Yeah,
because I feel like we could do like a whole podcast on this, but I definitely feel like that's the bit that I've probably struggled with the most. Yeah. Since I've been prepping.
I think most people do as well.
Well, it's hard because you've gone from having this massive goal to suddenly you're like, oh, I can eat what I want now, but I kind of can't eat what I want because
and there's
I don't want to get fat and I don't want to ruin my reverse. But why should I not eat it? Because I'm hungry and I've just worked for like 25 weeks.
And that's it. That's the exact phrase. What goes wrong around in your head? Like, why not?
Yeah, you basically having a mental battle with yourself back and forward and back and forward.
Yeah.
And then you eat something and you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. Why have I done that? Blah, 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 blah.
And this is only quite a modern thing, this reverse dieting.
Yeah.
This is only last, what year is it, 23? Maybe 5 years or so it's been a thing. Because before, like I said to you on the last podcast, like everyone just used to race up to the previous body weight. And it's become so precious, since women got more involved in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Well, not I'd say that's A to Z, to be honest. Because men, like, if you're a man and you've just finished competing and you weigh 2 stone on in a week.
You look one.
You look class. Not particularly healthy. I won't argue that it's healthy. But you put 2 stone on, you look sick in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Your pumps are mental. You've come off all the gear and everything, but you still look amazing. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You put 2 stone, you put 2 stone on a bikini girl a week later and you're fucked. Like, because the guys, like, they're generally cruising on gear throughout the year anyway, or sports TRT or whatever they want to call it. They've got some testosterone. So they've got a baseline of hormones. You've got nothing to worry about. They need to get the health checks and recover and everything, but like from a physical standpoint, it's all right. If a woman's hormones are crashing out, they've not got drugs to rely on throughout the whole year, of keeping hormones balanced, everything like that. So everything's crashed out. Even the natural testosterone's dead. The other hormones are all over the place. They take time to recover because they've usually dropped off in prep because the body's in a panic position where it's like, we better not have those because we don't want to be having babies right now, basically, because we're in a threatened position, blah, blah, blah. You've got all that to recover from. The weight gains easier on women, I would argue. Well, I wouldn't say it was easier because I suppose men can blow up as well, but you're more prone to putting body fat on because of the hormone leverage, basically. So they'll put that back on. And then, as we know, generally, if you pile a load of weight on after a prep, and this is why people slow down on it, you ain't taking that off anytime quick. You're not like, oh, I'll jump on a mini cut in 6 weeks and take it back off.
You just got to suck it up and deal with it then.
And this is why post-show is so crucial, innit?
Yeah.
Because what goes on ain't coming back off anytime soon.
Yeah.
The only way of getting that back off anytime soon, and this is the rule more than the exception or whatever, isn't these outliers to this probably, you're going to have to drive that food up from wherever you land. Yeah. So if you put a couple of stone on, your metabolism and everything's still not where it should be.
Yeah.
You've then got to take some time driving your food up over a period of time, which means more weight gain.
That's basically your start position for your off season.
Yeah, it's basically your start position. So you've got to drive the food up from there until you maybe 5 or 6 months at the best post-show before you start looking at doing a true cut again. And then you've got half of that to come back through, maybe a good bit to come back through. So you're like killing your off-season, really. Yeah. And this is why people swerve it. Because what the women used to do, they used to get given a plan at 16 weeks out, which just had 1,000 calories on it and an hour's cardio. And then it just used to get worse from that point. And the food used to go down and the cardio used to go up. And then they used to get to the day after the show, they'd been doing 2 hours, 2.5 hours cardio, eating 800 calories. And then they just go, yeah, you finished competing, now go enjoy yourself. Yeah. And then it just wreck them. Yeah. And that's where it started. That's where the problem started. So now people are so extreme with the reverses and how much they go into it. But really, you just need to be better than that. Yeah. It just needed to not be that. Do you know what I mean? So now when people, and then I say this to my clients post-show, and like, they'll fall off the wagon, they'll put a bit extra on, and everybody's body comes up at different rates. Do you know what I mean? Some girls will just, it comes up pretty quickly, do you know what I mean? And some girls are still in condition like 3 weeks later, and like throwing food at them and not a lot. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's got to be managed differently, but I'll say to them, look, just keep getting back on plan. Just keep getting back on plan. As long as you keep just getting back on plan, it's okay. The problem is if you just go on a Domino's and Nando's fest for 3 weeks, and then you just left fucked for then possibly 2 years. Yeah. Because you're spending your time trying to recover, get your body fat back down to a decent level, get your food so you can prep again. So that's why we focus on them a few weeks post-show quite crucially, really. Yeah. And what you said to me really helped. You said this the first time I competed. You were like, treat the first 4 weeks like you're still on prep. That's what I was about to say. Because your head switches and you're like, oh, I'm done prep. Whereas actually, if you think in your head, I'm still on prep, it kind of keeps you in that same structure and don't miss your meals and, you know, don't eat anything that's not on your meals, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, everyone does, everyone has a little bit. Yeah, I've got very, very few clients, and you won't read this on Instagram, and obviously I don't need to name any names, so it doesn't matter, but I've got very, very few clients who stick 100% to the reverse. Yeah. It's a small handful of people, 100%. You know what I mean? A lot of people are quite near it. Some people are way off it. Yeah. But as long as they're trying, that's all we can do. Do you know what I mean? And so it's hard post-show because you get like family, like, oh, do you want to go out for dinner? And you've got plans and you've got weekends away. And before you know it, you're like out 4 or 5 times a week and you're like, Yeah, and the first timers are so bad for it because they don't, as much as I warn them, as heavily as I warn them, they don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll just say it's tough, it's blah blah blah. And they're like, yeah. No, I'm just gonna. Oh, actually, I've just booked an holiday. I said, I'm like, no, please don't do that. Like a week after the show, 3 days after show, I'll be all right. I'll just come back. And I'm like, oh God, you're gonna be feeling so miserable when you come back.
It's a whole body image thing with women as well because I feel like a lot of girls struggle. Well, I feel like girls struggle more with like relationship with food as well.
Yeah.
Than guys. And then body image, obviously, like it's not nice seeing yourself suddenly like a stone or two heavier when you're so used to like having lines and abs.
That's a social thing, isn't it? Because like lads, like you put a couple of stone on, look wham as fucking the gym, all of the lads are like, oh mate, you look sick, you look fucking massive. Bird puts 2 stone on and people are like, oh, glad to see you've got your cheeks back or whatever.
Yeah, and especially when you used to wearing like shorts and sports bra in the gym and then suddenly you're like, it's tight clothes, whereas guys, you're in baggy stuff anyway, so it's like fine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, really? But that's why the reverse is so important and getting everything right. So, and as you'll know, we'll try and bring things, and like I said to you, and like I always do say, try and treat it like it's, you've done your 16 or 20 weeks or whatever you've done, then you've got another 3 to 4 weeks on prep.
Yeah.
To try and complete that as like a trajectory in and then a trajectory out. Do you know what I mean? And then that does help with thinking like that. And then you can kind of like get everything back to normal, and because your body's less susceptible to grabbing onto everything once you get past that 3 or 4 week point, instantly in the first 3 weeks it just grabs onto everything you'll give it.
And if you can get your food up to like a really good level, say you're 3-4 weeks post show, your food's in a good spot and you've not really gained that, obviously you're going to be a few kilo up, aren't you, initially?
We want to gain some,
but if you're still in a pretty decent body composition and your food's quite high, then like, right, bro, now we can bring in a bit more flexibility, we can go out a bit, we can like start building food up, you feel a bit better.
Because your body's less grabby.
And then you're like, you feel less hungry, so you can control yourself a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's probably the hardest bit, but we can do one on that.
So that's the hardest bit as a competitor.
The hardest bit as a coach.
Stopping
everyone eat all the cookies post show.
I suppose balancing them into the show for that last week. I wouldn't call any of it hard because I found it all fairly easy to a degree, but it's just more management, obviously, through the back end of the prep and making sure everything lands. There's no better than when you wake up on show day and people are just there. Do you know what I mean? There's that feeling, and it's very, very, very rare that I see that not happen anymore, but
I was just going to say, I feel like that happens to you every time.
It does, to be fair, because I think because of the way we come into the shows, it's very reliable, like we said before. I don't know. I don't really have any problem keeping people on plan, because when they're not on plan, I just say, what are you doing?
I'm not coaching you anymore.
Well, I just say, what is it you're doing? Tell me then, because they're fucking lying. Do you know what I mean? So what are you not telling me? Then they usually tell me. I suppose getting people, making sure people are in the best spot to start the prep is probably the most thing that needs the most management, I think.
Do you ever get clients, right, where it's like, you know that they need longer to get themselves like ready to start a prep, but they're like really wanting to start a prep?
Yeah.
And then you have to like basically say to them, actually, we need another couple of years to get you in a good position.
Yeah. Or they'll want to do.
Quite hard.
Yeah, or they'll want to do like the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then I'll just say, look, we need to do the end of the season because X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's going to take longer than that. And I think the longer you do my job, the better you get at that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you have these preps where you're trying to crash off loads of body weight in a certain amount of weeks, and like it never ends well. Do you know what I mean? It never ends well going in. It never ends well coming out. The recovery from it is never the same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'll always like say to people, and to be honest, they're usually quite like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that. I've just done it this week to someone, and like they wanted to do the beginning of the year, and I'm like, we're not going to be where we need to be for that without sacrificing a bunch of time now or possibly a little while ago. So we'll maybe do a good diet at the beginning of the year, chill through the middle of the year, and then do the end of the year. And they're like, actually, I like that idea better.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
good.
Then they get a less strenuous prep, better outcome, better reverse. Because you'll know this as you go on with more people, and obviously you've done it yourself, like the more people you're managing as a prep coach, my responsibility is not just to get them on stage. I think that's the worst thing you can do. Like, so what I mean by that is the only focus is them competing.
Yeah.
My focus, and their head's not there, but mine is, my head's where they're at 4 weeks later after the show. Have we had to kill them so bad that then the rebound's so horrendous that then they're not able to compete then? Like when you're competing now, as an example, I'm already thinking about when we're competing in 2025. My brain's already on the way to planning that from when you finish competing in 4 weeks to what gets us to 2025 universe, which is the next plan for us. And I'm like that with all my clients. I'm thinking, how is this prep going to affect them on the way in? How is it going to affect them on the way out? How long do I think they're going to need to recover as an individual? Because everyone's different. I've got some girls where their thyroid and lady hormones might not be back to where it should, where it needs to be for another 3-4 months post show. I've got some girls there where it's all back straight away. Do you know what I mean? So it's all a person dependent. And everything's crashed in. So how hard do I need to push them now? Do I need to consider that over the prep? Because if we need to go too hard, I know they're not going to recover for longer, then they're not going to be able to compete for it. Like, all of this is all that's going around in my mind, where I know the client's obviously just focused on that one day. You've got to take people's best interests in heart over the long game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the longer you do my job, like I said, I've been doing it a long time, the more you've seen that go wrong with people. And in the early days, that was me not knowing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was my ignorance, or not ignorance, because it's not like I ignored it, but just lack of knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Lack of experience. So the more things I've seen go wrong, the more things I know now to not make them go wrong. And I've seen everything go wrong. Do you know what I mean? I've seen all sorts, and you're still learning. You're still learning every year. Things I've noticed this year, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And then I can take that into more clients. Do you know what I mean? And get a better outcome. Sometimes they don't like it, and they think that you're trying to hold them back, or whatever. And sometimes they might leave because of that, which is fine. And then I'll see them go on and make the mistake with somebody else. But that's none of my business by that point. But so for me, it's all about the overall planning, because the prep's just a part of the journey. It's not just, and this is why I hate it when people just come on and go, there's a show in 22 weeks, can I do that? And I'm like,
I've had that quite a lot, but it's like 12, 13 weeks. And I'm like,
I've had it.
Like, never watched a show before. Like, just kind of jumped in and been like, I fancy that.
I know. And I'm like, and I have done it, and I've done well with it sometimes. And sometimes I'll think yes, and sometimes I'll say no, depending on the position, what the information that they give me at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? I've taken. I won't go into specific instances because it might relate to actual people, but I've done some.
Not outing anyone on the podcast.
I've done some mad uns, like, but I've got clients out at the back of that have then stayed with me for years, and we've done really well after I managed to fix everything that was wrong to start with. Do you get what I mean? But for me, the hardest part is definitely the overall planning.
Yes.
And being good to people that I know is good. Because I'm older as well, don't forget, I'm 37. So when you're talking to someone who's 23, 22, they're not always in the same place where you are. They don't normally care as much. But I know they will by the time they're 26, 27.
I was listening to a podcast about this the other day, actually.
Was you really?
Yeah.
After somebody's gone and wrecked them who don't care, they will fucking care in 3 or 4 years when everything's not still working properly, or they've given this or told them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is a responsibility, because I want to see, for you, for any of the others, you're all going to go on, you're all going to have families, you're all going to have kids, you all want to still talk like girls. And I'm not just talking about drugs, I'm talking the overall thing, but I am talking about drugs. You've all of you want to go and have kids, and all of you want to have families, you all want to have your normal voices still and things like that. That's a responsibility for me, looking after all them women.
But a lot of coaches won't think about that. If a 21-year-old comes to the coach and they're like, I don't care, like, just make me the best I can.
Just give me everything.
The coach will be like, all right then. You know?
Yeah, and you know from conversations with me how much limited I keep on that side of things for all clients. And that's why people always say, all your clients look like girls, they're all still real pretty, they all still talk like girls. No shit, it's not a coincidence, do you know what I mean? And people might see that as me holding them back, but not. But I mean, I actually specifically talking about drugs there, but that was just a part of it. But just the overall not destroying people's journey and keeping that. And when they're young, they might not see that I'm doing that. And I suppose when I was young, I used to think, you boring old bastard, you know what I mean? But we've got responsibilities, and you're going into this now, and obviously, how old are you now?
27.
27, so you're getting into 27, 28, 29, 30, and you'll be doing this job in your 30s. And as you get wiser and you see more of it, you've got a responsibility to look after them, do you know what I mean? And make sure they get out the other end of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Unscathed and happy with the journey. And I'm getting deep on this now, I know, but I want them to look back when they're 35 to when there was 25 and think, I appreciate what Dan did there.
Yeah, definitely.
You get what I mean? I've got girls that come to me now that I've stopped doing things when there was 19, 20, 21, and they're in the late 20s now, and they've come to me at shows and they've gone, oh, you really looked after me then. I didn't have a clue that you was doing that at the time, so thank you.
Yeah.
And that means a lot, do you know what I mean?
No, I do feel like you can tell it with you a lot though.
Yeah, because I just don't want to So it's just not nice, is it?
No.
Just for some trophies and that.
No, it's not worth it. Oh, I don't think it's worth it anyway.
No, it's not. It's not worth the sacrifice. I think if you can't do it with the limited things that we will do, then you can't do it.
Yeah.
You haven't got the genetics to do that. Do you know what I mean? If you aren't, you aren't. And if you want to go on ahead and wreck yourself with somebody else, then go on ahead and wreck yourself.
Yeah.
But it's not for me, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that a lot. Loads of that. All your girls so all sound great.
I remember you saying
they're real
that
full
before.
and feminine, and they don't none of the voices have got RoboCop tones to them.
Yeah. That is literally my worst nightmare.
Fuck it in it just. Yeah. I'd hate that.
And that's the thing where it's like as well, tangent, but how like far do you want to go with it? Because obviously, like as a female now going into like the higher levels with it, like it's quite intense, isn't it?
Does it hold you back by, I know, and that's the question that you've got to kind of weigh up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How far do I want to push this and for what?
And especially when you are getting closer to your 30s, it's like, is it really worth it?
In my opinion, no.
No, I don't think it's either.
So I was obviously a very, very intense bodybuilder, especially through my 20s. And I know the mindset.
You just get yourself,
if you would have told me when I was 25 to inject something that would give me cancer when I was 55, but I would have won the Olympia, I would 100% have done it. I would 100% have done it, because that's the mindset that I was. Now I think, fucking, I'm glad I didn't do.
Yeah.
Not that anything can give you cancer, but like, you get what I'm saying, like some intense stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where so I know where the mindset is.
Yeah.
And it just, luckily, I always had good people around me.
Yeah.
Looking after me. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Because I didn't actually take that much drugs when I was competing. I know I was like really big. But luckily, and I didn't know it at the time, I had the people around me saying, you only need to do this. You only need to do that.
Yeah, which is good, because there's not, a lot of people won't have that around them.
And because social media wasn't so prevalent, I wasn't exposed to the madness what other people was doing. So by the time I already got to that level and started talking to the people that were doing them things, I was thinking, you mad? What are you taking all that for?
Yeah.
You don't. Do you know what I mean? Because I was just as big as them or whatever.
Yeah.
From doing less, and that's probably why I'm checked out healthy as hell now.
Yeah.
I've had all my heart, everything checked in.
Yeah.
I've told you before, and checked inside and out. I'm fit as a fiddle. I'm fantastic, and I'm so.
Which is
glad.
what you want after you've done bodybuilding.
Oh, thank God, yeah, because there's a full life after that.
Yeah.
There's a full. There's another 3 lives after that. Do you know what I mean?
It's easy to get consumed though, isn't it? At the time with it.
Yeah, your 20s are just
because it's like your whole life when you actually when you're competing. Like bodybuilding is literally your whole life.
Yeah. And then when you get into your 30s, other things become your full life. For me now, business and my family are my full life. Then in my 40s, it'll be something. And then, like, do you know what I mean?
It's quite exciting, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of life after that.
A lot of different things, like what you can.
Yeah, because where I'm at now, I can't even comprehend going back into doing what I was doing then. Like, I couldn't even. I'll never take a steroid in my life again.
Yeah.
Never, because I've got no reason to.
Yeah.
The minute I said I'm not competing anymore, I've never touched a steroid since.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Over that life.
Yeah, I never would. How did Dan get from what's the hardest part of coaching someone into a client to I'll never take steroids again? Fuck's sake.
Oh God.
Sorry about that.
Right. We've kind of already touched on this. How do you do your post-show for like all I want to do is eat? I feel like we need to do a separate podcast on post-show because I feel like that's such a big topic in itself.
Let's do it when you post-show.
Yes, we'll do a post-show. And
I'll tell you if she's got a sandwich under the table or not. Is that a cheese sandwich, Leah?
Oh, no, I do love sandwiches. Me and Will were having this conversation the other day. Sandwiches are the most underrated food in the world.
I love sandwiches, yeah. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in your two's living room while you both
we talk about so much
talking
shit,
about
honestly.
Sandwiches.
No, we just said sandwiches are the most underrated, like food meal, whatever you want to call it. I just think a good sandwich, like you can't go wrong, can you?
No, you can do so much with it as well. There's so many options.
So many options.
So many different types of bread.
So many sandwich variations. Do you know what I mean?
Look how hungry she is.
I'm hungry right now. I'm not gonna lie. My food focus is feeling quite high at the minute.
Yeah, we're talking about reverses. Yeah, we'll do a podcast maybe about reverses.
Yeah, we'll talk about different approaches as well because I feel like every time I've prepped, my approach has been completely different. How many post shows have I done now? 3.
2.
3. This will be my 4th one.
Without you've done 2 with me, haven't you?
I've done 2 with you. I did one before.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
We'll talk about that one. That was a very bad one. Basically, I didn't follow a plan at all after my show for about 2 years.
It was Leah's plan.
Basically, just ate what I wanted when I wanted. And anyway, yeah, it was not good, but we'll talk about that because everyone's been slightly different. So I think it'll be good to talk about like what's worked, what hasn't worked.
And I suppose what approaches from me, because they're all different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Different people need different things Yeah, we'll go into that anyway.
Yeah, because I guess you approach it differently with each client as well. Like
it all depends on the prep. All reverses just depend on the prep. That's basically it, and what the next plans are as well.
Can you /Dan tell when someone is going to do well before? What?
Can you /Dan? What, like with a Stanley knife?
Like a forward slash.
Forward slash, thanks. Can you /Dan? Who's written that question in there? She's trying to get me killed.
I've had enough of this prep.
Whoever that is thinks I'd look cool with a scar.
Oh, I'm crying.
Can you /Dan? Yeah, what was the next bit?
I can't stop laughing now.
What was the question?
No, I need a breather. Look, an actual tear is running down my face. I'm too hydrated. Can you or Dan tell? Tell when someone is going to do well before starting a prep.
Yeah, quite often, yeah.
So if you look at someone and they come to you or they're in an off season, do you feel like, obviously if you prep them before, you know, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a new client, do you feel like you can look at them and be like, yeah, they're going to do sick, or actually,
yeah,
you know,
quite
I'll get
often,
them through a prep.
Quite often, but there's loads of. That's not your fault, is it?
No.
There's loads of people that shock you as well.
Yeah.
So some people you'll think they just look like normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all the fat comes away, and there's all this stuff comes popping out, and you're like, wow, Jesus Christ. I think one of the main people who did that was, do you remember Kat? It was like Cat V, what's she called on Instagram? Kitty V or something like that.
Oh, I do know who.
Do you know what I mean? I can't remember what her Instagram name is to tell you, but she won like Swords and that woman last year. Short blonde bob. She was one of them where it just looked very, very normal, and then started prepping. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, where's that come from?
Do you feel like a lot of girls though, when they're in off season, like deep in off season, they don't really look like they
much.
This sounds really horrible because I feel like I'm the same as well. I feel like you don't really look like they train.
Definitely look like you train.
No, but you know what I mean? You feel like, I just feel like a normal person. Whereas with a guy, like, you know, me and Will are together, people will be like, oh, you're massive, like, you've joined him, and I'm just stood there, I'm like, don't even look like I go to the gym.
I'm the champ. I'm the champ.
I'm like, I'm the better bodybuilder. No, I'm joking, I don't say that. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
A lot of girls don't really look like
that's what used to fascinate me, and this is one of the benefits of when I used to work in the gym and just do it on the gym floor.
Yeah.
They'd come in every week, and I'd be like, and it's just coming out.
Yeah,
you do get that. And quite often I look at someone and I just straight away just think, yeah, man, they've got it. Because you have either got it or you ain't. Do you know what I mean? But then there's some that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, where's that? But then there's some where they look fantastic in the off season.
Right.
And the diet, and I'm like, where's the bottom? And the diet, the diet. And I'm thinking, where's the bottom? When are they going to hit the bottom? Do you get what I mean? Like, they're waiting for something to come popping out, and there's just nothing. There's nothing
I completely get what you mean.
Yeah, and I think, fucking hell, I thought there was going to be more there than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not often that happens, because obviously you've been through cuts and things like that, so you've got an idea. But if you get someone fresh and you diet them down, and you think, fucking hell, they're going to be sick these, and then there's like nothing there. I reckon that's quite. And I don't say I reckon, I'm being kind, but I know that's quite prevalent in the wellness thing.
Yes.
And I've not got tons of wellness girls. I've got some good ones, like the few that I've got. But when I see a lot of them on stage, not my own clients, I think like you should have noticed at some point that is just all fat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it's hard with a lot of girls because obviously a lot of girls do hold more fat around their glutes and their legs, which is quite common with females.
And they need telling, like, so little Harriet, my little 19/20-year-old, I didn't know, because we just dieted down for that. I didn't know, and we said throughout, probably junior bikini.
Yeah.
But we'll keep one eye on wellness. Yeah. Right? And that was me saying to her, like, we'll see what's actually muscle when we come down. And she knew that. She's a switched on kid. She knows the score. And we was looking at junior bikini. And then when we finally got, and I'm thinking, it's coming. Her legs are still big.
Yeah.
And then when we got to the end, and I was like, we'll just do wellness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I slung her on, and as soon as I seen her on stage, just like, obviously we made the right decision because she won. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She won, then she come third at the British.
Yeah.
Lord, did you see that? There's like 15 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Third, she's only a kid, man.
I did actually watch her at that FitX show, and I didn't realise at that point that she was your client, and I was like, God, that girl's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I twigged on to who she was, and I was like, of course, she's Dan's client.
Yeah, so much potential for the future.
Yeah,
she's only just turned 20.
Yeah, it's mad.
Do you know what I mean? It's mental. But like, she was a good example of that, where I was like, is she wellness or is she just carrying it? Do you know what I mean? Because you can't always see everything. And then when she got it off, I was like, yeah, man, she's wellness to fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's quite prevalent in that class, but I don't know, a tangent. But so yeah, you can tell when
someone's got a decent shape, can't you?
I've been doing it that long. Usually someone just stands in front of me and walks in and they're just like that. I'm like, yeah. It's just there. Do you know what I mean? You can see everything's there, or the little couple of shots, and I'm like, yeah. I'll tell you who was the best one, and this was quite an obvious one. Sophie Jenkins.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's an IFBB pro and everything like that. But when I prepped her in 2019, I think she'd done one show before or whatever, something like that. And obviously, we went on spurt of winning everything. Yeah. We just won everything that year, obviously, because she's just so freaky. But she came in she's like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
She's got this massive baggy t-shirt on. And massive hoodie and all the rest of it. Training her in the gym. She wears them big bodybuilding baggies and all that, or she was doing then. And then I obviously had to have a look at her at the end, see what she looked like, and was going to prep and all that. And she just stood there, and because she put a bikini on or whatever, and she just went boom, and I was just like, fucking hell, what? And she turned around, did the same, these massive glutes, big fucking back like that, and no waist. And she was like, "Do you think we'll be all right?" And I was like, "I think we'll be all right." So yeah, she always reminds me that I said that. I was like, "Yeah, I think we'll be all right," you know. And obviously, we just went on and won everything that year. Got a really odd, bizarre result at NABRA at the end of it, and then that's when we finished for COVID and all the rest of it, Yeah, and then obviously she went on to do IFBB after that, and done really well this year.
Yeah, really well this year.
Yeah, really good. But yeah, that was a mad one because I wasn't expecting that to be under that baggy top. Do you know what I mean? It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the answer is, I mean, I don't know about you, but usually someone just walks in a room and I'm like, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you can sort of tell, can't you?
It's just that roundness to people, do you know what I mean? And like, even if they're off season, you can kind of see it's there and the glutes are kind of round, the legs they've just got that shape, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But then some people are really deceivers and they come popping out of nowhere. Definitely got a few of them. And some people don't look like that much, and then they start hitting poses, and you're like, whoa.
And they come alive a bit.
Yeah, they come alive. And some people just stand there looking like nothing, do a few like raises and start hitting a few poses, and like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So that's one of the quite exciting parts about getting new clients and stuff, I think.
Yeah, it's exciting. So basically, yes.
Yes.
Is the answer to that.
After I got slashed, yes.
David. I think I need a chicken salad break. Joking. How did you get into competing? We can both do this.
Yeah. You go.
Just like happened, really. No. From swimming. So I used to, because I used to swim when I was younger. So I swam from like, I started when I was 12. So I was actually really late getting into swimming because swimmers start when they're like flipping 3 or something, don't they? Yeah. So I started quite late with that. And then we did like a bit of S&C. So I was training like 25, 30 hours a week swimming when I was at school, because they do, swimmers, they get up at like 4, don't they?
Yeah, they do,
They're in the pool at like 5. Oh God, I used to hate that. So you're in the pool at like 5:30 in the morning, like every day, and then you're back in the evening as well. So did that, and then they get you doing, when you get to like a higher level, it's when you get to like county level, they give you like S&C. So you get like strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
So you're doing weights basically from like age 11, 12.
Oh wow.
Not like bodybuilding, but like
something.
your strength and conditioning, like you light stuff.
Yeah.
So you're doing all that. And then, just kind of, so I was doing that all the way until I went to uni, and then swam at uni when I went to Sheffield and did more S&C there. And then kind of drifted away from the swimming because I was like working a lot at uni, going out all the time, obviously at uni. And then they had a really nice like strength and conditioning suite there. So then I was like friends with the guy, or got on well with the guys that were like running the S&C. So then I was like, can you write me like a bit more of like a gym program? Yeah. So that was my first like ever upper lower split when I was like 18 at uni. Class. So so got into that. But I think I already had like a fair amount of muscle from swimming. Yeah. Because I'd been swimming for like, 6 years by this point.
And it'll brought it out of you, won't it?
Yeah. So I do think I think you can tell when someone's done sport.
Well, and you've got the broad shoulders and everything like that. It always makes me laugh when people go, because my mum and that used to say to me, they'd be like, why don't you do swimming? They've all got real broad shoulders and a tiny waist. I'm like, that's why they're good at swimming. They've not got that because they're good at swimming. They're good at swimming because they've got that. Do you get what I mean? She'd be like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
But yeah, because you kind of built like that.
Yeah,
But mine was, I did karate. Did you know I did martial arts?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I did martial arts when I was young. So I started karate when I was 5 or 6. think 5, and I had a black belt at the time I was 11, which is like the
Wow.
youngest in my area. I was very competitive with that and very, very, very obsessed with that in the same way that I was bodybuilding. Read everything about it, watched every single thing I could possibly get my hands on about it. Just completely obsessed, trained at that 5 or 6 times a week at karate clubs, fought and everything else, and was pretty good at it. And then I got to kind of like 14, I think, and then I just started being a bit of a rogue, I suppose, and out with my mates and getting in trouble and getting kicked out of school and all these things. And then my mum stopped me going because I was like in fights and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And like, so they stopped me going there. And then I kind of was rogue for a few years. And I was never really happy in them years, actually, looking back. It's like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I got kicked out of school early. I got kicked out of school when I was 14, 15, and I went to work on a building site. So that brought me back in line a little bit. The time I was 16, working with men, teaching me how to act like a man, teaching me to just not be a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like that was really good for me, working on a building site as a labourer around proper misters, grew me up. And then when I was about 18, one of my mates started going to gym, and I noticed he was getting bigger. And I was always into wrestling and stuff. Usual bodybuilder story, to be honest. Enjoyed wrestling, liked Arnie, blah, blah, blah. Obsessed with muscle since I was young. All that sort of stuff. And then I just thought, right, I'm going to go gym to go around town, because I was going around town all the time because I was 18. Wanted bigger arms, usual shit. Didn't train legs. Started doing that. Went trained with 3 of my mates. There was 4 of us all training together. Then people that annoy us now in the gym was one of them. And just responded incredibly quickly, which I didn't realise, but compared to all my mates, they weren't changing. And I was just looking different every week, and then people started saying stuff. And then I went to a gym to find some protein workout anyway. I went to workout. Before I even trained there, I went there to buy some protein. Seen Tony, was cheeky. I said, can I have one of them DVDs off there? Because I had all the counterfeit DVDs. It was a Ronnie Coleman DVD. And he was like, go on then. So he gave me it. It was only a copy. I went home and I was like, what is this?
You're like, this is my life now.
What is this? Who are these people? Why did they look like that? They look like aliens. I just became obsessed with that, basically. Yeah. That got me out of the party life. A bit of a transitional period there, because I was a bomb into the party life, getting off my head and that. And then when I decided to do a bodybuilding show, I wrapped all that in, just literally like the click of a button, stopped it. When I was 21, decided to do a bodybuilding show 1 year later, started taking steroids. And that was it.
Rest is history.
The rest is history. Competed and then just was fully immersed in that life.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you went through this, but I went through a strange period as well where all my mates that I grew up with, you kind of lose contact with all of them when you get into it. Yours might be different because you was like through uni and stuff, but these were all my childhood mates. And I still mates with them now. I still speak to them now, and obviously I've caught back up with them now. But I went through a phase where they were all still going out, and then I was just on my own for a bit.
Right,
because I didn't have any new mates. Social media wasn't really a thing, so you weren't really talking to people on social media. I was just kind of like on my own, just bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And then you get like one mate, it was actually my best mate still now, Dan. Him, do you know what I mean? And then he's my gym mate, and then you get another gym mate. Okay, and then before long, you've got all these bodybuilding and gym mates. But like, I went through a couple of years in the middle where I was just kind of like, by my Todd, it was real weird because I wasn't going out on a weekend, so not all your mates stopped speaking to you.
Yeah. I think I had the same with my uni friends, but because my school friends, 2 of them didn't actually go to uni, 2 of my best friends now, so they were working full time when I was at uni. I was actually going out while they were like working.
Yeah.
So
it worked out all right.
Yeah, because I didn't go out like through. I was like really.
Good Christian girl. I was good Christian girl.
I was good at school. So I was like, I didn't go out or anything before I went to uni, really.
Oh, really? Yeah.
A little bit, like the odd night out on a weekend or whatever. But I didn't really go out until I was at uni.
White lightning on the field.
And then I went on, and then the uni was a different story. But so my best friends were like working.
Ah, right, okay.
So, but then when I was going out loads at uni, that was before I was really into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So then after, when I got into bodybuilding, I did. Like, there was a group of uni friends who were like my big going out friends that I now don't really speak to because they were going out loads while I was like working in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, but it was just a bit later.
Yeah. I've just started catching up with a lot of my mates quite recently, really. I stayed in touch bits and pieces, but not really. But I've caught up with a lot of them. It's quite nice, actually, to be fair. Yeah,
I like it because because we don't talk about bodybuilding stuff. And it's like, you know, when you've got loads of friends, like you'll be the same. Like, all my friends are now bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Because you meet people as you get older, like that's how you meet people that are like bodybuilding. Yeah. So then you naturally just talk about bodybuilding all the time. Yeah. So I actually quite like it. You know, when you go home and you're just talking about like I don't know, just normal
Anything.
stuff.
Shit we used to get up to. They've all got businesses and stuff now and doing really well for themselves and that. Obviously, they had similar experiences through teenagers years as me, so it's good to see them flying and doing stuff. Do you know what I mean? And doing well. It's cool, man. And we don't talk about bodybuilding.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
And if they ask me about it, I just close the conversation down quite quick, so I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, or they don't really talk to me about work either or business, so I can just talk to them about like
anything,
life stuff. We're going we're doing a Halloween night. We're doing pumpkin carving.
Is that
that's our activity this week.
Oh really? I've been invited round to our new neighbours. I think I'm dressing as a crayon or something. I don't really know. I'll find out on Saturday, whatever I've got to wear, I don't know.
Oh, I might dress up.
Is that this week, actually? Is that the 28th this week?
It is.
Yeah, it's this weekend then.
Yeah. So, yeah, do you feel like, I was just thinking when you were saying then, do you feel like if you've come from a sporting background when you're younger, it helps a lot with bodybuilding? Because I think if you've grown up doing sport to a high level, it like makes you a certain way.
Right, so I think about this from the flip standpoint. I think your brain is the way it is.
Yeah.
Right, and then your brain gravitates towards things. So my brain and your brain is obviously competitive, athletic, and obsessive to a degree.
Yeah.
So you've latched that into swimming.
Right, that makes sense.
Because all the other kids at school didn't latch into swimming.
Yeah, you don't think it's the sport that made you like that. You think it's you that kind of gravitated towards that.
You are like that, and you gravitate towards things. That's why I always think, like, we're bodybuilding, and people always say it, I'm like, crazy people are... Bodybuilding don't make people crazy. Crazy people do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
It's like a certain mindset that, like,
it's a mindset,
goes towards it.
And I feel like it latches into something positive.
Yeah.
So, like, my brain could have been obsessed with gambling,
right,
drug abuse,
yeah,
alcohol abuse, anything negative, but it didn't because I'm not a bad person or like I can. Well, not that's wrong actually. That's completely wrong. People who take drugs aren't bad, but
I know what I mean.
My brain's in the right space to latch into something positive because it doesn't want to go down a negative road. Are you all right there?
No, I just need a pit stop. Sorry. No, I get what you mean. You just it needs like something to...
Yeah, so it needs something to latch onto, so it latches onto something positive, because that's the way my brain thinks. So as a child, I was the same, and I felt lost if I didn't have some, like, before that, well, when I was young, I was obsessed with drawing, believe it or not. I was, like, drawing all the time. I was obsessed. And then martial arts, and then I went through a lost phase in the middle, and then it latched onto bodybuilding. It's something for it to get hold of. So in your case, if you think about it, and I'm not diagnosing you yet, but like when you think about it, like all the other kids at school didn't get like that with swimming.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You got like that with something that you enjoyed and latched onto it. Like all the other kids in your class weren't getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go and do something. You was, because that's the way your mindset is. And then you like that now with bodybuilding. It's the same way I was with bodybuilding, completely obsessed and immersed for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And as I've come out with that, I'm now like that with business.
Yeah.
And trying to progress into other things, property development, all the other things that are going on in my brain, another business that we're trying to set up at the minute, which is something completely nothing to do with nothing, but it's on my brain all the time. And I think about it because blah, 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 blah. And I'll probably do that until the day I die with something.
I feel like I'm the same, like I have to have something where it's like moving or focusing. I can't just like, I couldn't ever be one of those people. Not that this is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's wrong.
She is.
Well, I couldn't be one of those people that just gets up, goes to work, does my like 9-5, and I just feel like I wasn't moving anywhere.
Yeah, and then goes home.
And then I'd go crazy. Go home, watch TV.
Just trying to get a promotion or things like that, which is like, that's fine for people. I'm obviously not knocking that, but our brains are obviously not wired up like that, otherwise we would be doing that. I had one of them jobs from leaving. So obviously, going back to what we were saying, like I was builders labouring on site from when I was 14. When I was 16, they said, we have to take you on or let you go, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So then I went to work for a building firm, got an apprenticeship in joinery, and I did that until I was 23. Like, and I've said this before, and I always use it as an example, I'll never in my life put my hand up and ask if I can go to dentist on a Thursday afternoon ever again. Since the day I walked off of that, it wasn't for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one for being told what to do. You have to be here at that time. You have to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do what I want when I want, and I'm going to make a life where I can make that possible. Do you know what I mean? And that was my goal from the off. So I'll never have to ask anyone if I can go to the dentist. And you can go, but we'll dock you an hour's pay.
Yeah.
Fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean?
Not what you want.
I'll just do what I want when I want. So that's where my brain is with that. But I've had that 9-to-5 job where you have to turn up at 8 o'clock. You have to leave at 4:30. If you don't, you get wages taken off, all of that.
Yeah.
My brain's not built for that kind of enclosed environment activity. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And as with that, and as exactly going back to what you're saying, then you build your own progressions. So like you've gone from what you've done with your coaching, smashing it, looked fantastic, took on board the help that you took from people and what have you, and built it up. Now you're taking on coaches.
Yeah.
And then you look at taking on another coach.
Yeah.
Now you're moving into prep coaching. Now you're having a go at that. You've done well at that. You've done like a couple of clients. Next year you've done 2. You might do 5 next year. They might do well. Then you might win a British title. And then you think, well, I want to win it. I want to win a universe with one now. And that's where your brain's at. And that's why you're doing what you're doing. And that's why you're only 27 and doing as well as you are, because you just bop like that all the time.
What's next? What's next?
Yeah, what's next? And I'm like that. And my mates and my family say, you need to slow down. And I'm like, I don't.
You can't help it though, can you?
I can't help it. I can't help it at all.
Yeah.
Speaking to my mate yesterday, I was like, sending me some houses and that, and I said, I'm not doing that at the minute. I'm on. He's like, well, what are you on with then? Because if you're not doing that, I know you're on with something else. So what is it? So I started telling him. He was like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, you just knew that there was something you were going to be like focusing on.
Yeah, because I'm working on something else at the minute as well, which I might not come off, but I'm going to have a go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's So going back to that with the sport thing, we're just wired up like that.
Oh, I never thought of it that way, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah, I never used to think of it.
Interesting.
I've only noticed it, Leah, since I stopped bodybuilding. Because I thought when I stopped bodybuilding, I'd just be chill and do whatever, but I can't. So I'm on with...
Yeah.
And that's why when you go back to... I didn't realise it was only 2021 that your coaching business started blowing up. That's when I quit bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And that's why it's blown up the way it has, because I've just put everything into that now.
Yeah,
and that's all I think about, and I'm trying to get this and that. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why it took such a big blow up since I stopped bodybuilding, because my energy's gone from there to there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. How long have you been with Dan for, and did you have a coach before that?
3 years this nowish.
Yeah, because it was when I was in Dubai, which was in the 2020 lockdown.
Yeah. Which is that October?
October, November. So
yes, it was like
pretty
now,
much 3 years.
Now, yeah. Consistent with that as well, aren't we? We've been good. And
So I was with Danny Bosworth, who's my good friend. So I lived with Danny in Sheffield for like a good couple of years. So we actually met at the gym in Sheffield. Yeah, we met at the gym when she was competing.
Yeah.
And I think I hadn't competed by that point. So it must have been 2017 maybe. So I've known Danny for years. And I think I actually started PT, and I used to work at Virgin Active doing like the classes and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a guy there that was like prepping people, and I just like jumped in with him, did 2 weeks, couldn't stick to a plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally didn't even stick to the plan for like 2 weeks. Was like, no, I'm not cut out for this. I can't do this.
This goes back to what we was on about earlier.
Yeah.
About people change as they go on.
Honestly, I just couldn't stick to the plan. I was at uni though, so I felt that didn't really help. What was I saying? Oh yeah, coaches. Sorry, sidetracked. So yeah, was with that coach kind of, and then Danny I kind of jumped around a bit at the start. To be fair, I was with Danny for a bit, then was with an actual prep coach, but started with that coach when I was like basically 15 weeks away from the show.
Yeah.
Was with that coach for like 3 weeks. Went to another coach at like 6 weeks out. So I think that's probably where the bad experience came from, because I didn't actually do an off season. I just like was I'm going to go on stage.
And that was that show.
That was that one
the London one. Or
yes, that PCA one.
Yeah.
So I did the UK UP one, the Body Power, 4 weeks before that.
Ah, right, okay.
God, I found the photos from that the other day. I'll have to show you that because it's awful. But yeah, no, I didn't look bad, to be fair, but the posing was like, I mean, I was very confident, but apart from that, I wasn't
different
great.
Different times.
Yeah, so, and then that coach basically stopped with me after I'd done the show, so I didn't have a coach for the whole of that reverse. It wasn't a reverse, I basically just did what I wanted. So yeah, kind of jumped around a bit, so don't do that basically, because it didn't end very well.
That's a bad idea.
And then was working with Danny for maybe like a year or so. Because this is when I was after that show, and that experience of my relationship with food was just awful.
Did you say you'd gained like 20 kilo in a certain space of
it
time? It
was like really, really rapid.
Yeah.
I didn't ever get like fat.
Yeah.
I just gained weight quick, but I still was like in decent shape. But because I was like, it was really bad binge eating, so I would like binge eat like a lot of food, but then I wouldn't eat for like the next day.
All right.
So it was meaning that I wasn't like gaining weight, because I was just like cycling up and down.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I was with Danny, and then basically had to sort my relationship with food out for like ages and ages. And then that was fine. I wasn't really bodybuilding that much at this point. I was kind of training, but like not really like seriously.
Not focused on that, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when I when that was all good, and I was like, actually, yeah, I want to give this a good go again.
Yeah.
And I think when I met Will as well, because he was like really into bodybuilding, that helped me so much, because I would like go and see him at the weekend with no food.
Oh, really?
And I'd just be like, okay, here I am. And we'd just like go out for food basically.
Yeah,
Whereas Will would come up to see me and he'd have like a cool bag and bring like cooked food. And I was like, what's this? Who does this?
What was wrong with him?
Yeah. And then he was like, I was like, oh, maybe this is a good idea. And then he kind of got me into it, because I never did any meal prep or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like that helped me, because it helped me get like a really good structure.
That,
yeah. And then once I did that, and then my relationship with food got better. And then that's when I messaged you.
Yeah.
So I've only really been properly bodybuilding, I would say, since I was like...
Yeah, I thought you was actually further on than that when we started. I didn't realise you was...
Yeah. I've been training. I've been training properly for years, but not the eating.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing you doing photo shoots and stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I spotted you anyway. I seen you on Instagram. I thought, she's good. Then when you messaged, I was like, oh, this is good. Then we won everything.
Yes.
5 for 5 now, aren't we?
God, I can't believe it. Yeah, we've done Manchester...
British.
Overall. British tone title.
Yeah.
Universe. Athletic title. Universe overall. Pro card.
Yeah.
British pro win.
Yeah.
That is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, good, isn't it?
That's quite cool.
Yeah, straight through the top.
Pressure. I just feel a bit of pressure, actually. Last time I was like, I need to keep the streak going.
Yeah. Well, I think me and Will spoke about that. He's like, she's won every show that she's entered. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, I don't know how she'll be if she loses. I'm like, we're probably going to find out one day, but let's just hope it's not today.
Yeah. What was that question? I've lost track.
Yeah,
so basically, 3 years, and yes, did, but sporadically. And I think that was on me, though. I think I just wasn't in the right place to be coached. Like, I just wasn't. It wasn't anything on the coach or the coaches. It was just I wasn't in the right.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we was on about, doesn't it? Like I say, like are people cut out for it or not? You can't always tell, because, like you said there. Now look at you.
Yeah, and sometimes I think it's just the phase of your life that was in. Like, I was in a different relationship at the time, and I was at uni, and I was working like 3 jobs. And sometimes it's just not the right time, and you just need to kind of sort yourself out a bit first.
And that's different for everybody as well. So I'll notice, I don't know if you notice this or not, some clients I've got are amazing at bodybuilding when they're single.
Yeah.
And some people are terrible at it when they're single.
Yeah.
Because they want to be out and they want to be socialised and all the rest of it. And then when they go into a relationship, they're not interested in bodybuilding anymore. Yeah. And some vice versa, they're not really in the place for bodybuilding when they're single, because they're out socialising, dating, whatever. And then when they get locked down into when they get settled down into a relationship, they're like, I want to do a show now, because they've got someone to be with on a weekend. They don't have to be out doing this and that. So I always found that interesting.
I guess that depends as well, like if that person is bodybuilding, because if you're not in a relationship and you're going out and then you get in a relationship with a bodybuilder, like you're probably going to live like a bodybuilder,
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And then I think some partners hate the bodybuilding thing, so they like try and pull them away from it or whatever. It's just all person dependent, isn't it? And depending on the situation. But I always found that interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the last of the questions.
Yes. That'll draw us to a close. I don't know how long that was. We'll find out when we finish.
I don't know.
But that'll draw us to a close for episode number 2. And then the next time we'll be back talking about... Fuck knows.
When will we be next time? Where will we be at? Will we have done the Worlds by then?
Depends when we book back in. The Worlds is 4 weeks away, so
might be just before.
Yeah, it might be just before or just after. Depends how you are as well. Depends how you are.
Depends if Dan kills me off.
Depends how far you are on mentally at that point. I
feel all right today, to be honest.
Oh, bloody hell. Well, yeah, that's a wrap. Anything you want to finish on?
No, just make sure if you are following along, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and then comment. Let us know what you want to see more of, or if there's anything you want us to cover. Basically, just shoot us a message. You can message us on Instagram. I'm sure people will know. Do you want to just say what your Instagram name is, just so people know?
Team DW.
Nice and easy.
It'll be on the. We'll have it on the screen.
Yeah, perfect. So just go and give us a follow. Commenters.
Slashers.
Basically, let us know if there's anything you want us to cover, and we'll be back either pre-Worlds or post-Worlds. We'll see.
We'll find out. You'll be able to tell by Lee's cheekbones where we are.
And my smile. If I'm not smiling, it's not ended well.
If she's not smiling and it's before the show, she's starving. If she's not smiling after the show, she got beat.
We'll soon find out.
Yeah, we'll soon find out. And we'll find out on the next episode. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.